So welcome, late night convo. But it was one of those I just kind of realized, like, just with, I was gone last week, and then just with other calls, we had our business opportunity call the week before that. So it's been a while since we got together and chatted. But the one common thing that everyone was saying is recruiting coaches. So some of the things that I share probably won't be anything new that you've heard, but if you hear them for a second or third or fourth or fifth time, take notes. Those are probably things that you should be doing. So I want to start by saying that when I started this, all I did is listen to what everyone else told me to do. You know, like, I had no network marketing experience. I had no idea how the business worked and what the legs meant and what cycles were. But I listened to what every person who went before me said to do, and I did it. And I still do. Like, I still take that same approach. Like, I still get on every one of Melanie Mitro's Monday night Dream Team calls. And then on Wednesday, she does this Rising Star call for all her diamonds and above. I don't miss those. And when she says to do something, I do it. And I do it exactly the way she says, with my own spin, of course, but I follow it because it's tried and true and it's proven. And it's kind of like, well, if they're telling you to do it, you should do it. So just keep that in mind. It can be a frustrating process, especially if you're doing what everyone's telling you to do and you're not getting anywhere. It's like, this doesn't work. Everyone's rate of growth is going to be different. What I can tell you beyond anything else is it's your consistency. Like, it still amazes me. I remember when I first got started coaching, and I would have someone maybe like the third time that I talked to them say, okay, you know, I'm going to do it. And I'd be like, they finally came around. Well, it's still happening. Like, I still have people years down the road. One of my coaches who came to Super Saturday is a girl that I went to high school with, that I've known forever, that used to like my posts on Instagram, and I just kind of blew it off. Like, we were just like, we weren't friends, but like, we were friends from high school. Like, no big deal. She liked my post. Eventually she came to me 3 years in and asked, like, what is this about? She, you know, and she was a challenger, and now she's a coach. So you never know, but if you aren't still doing this, then no one's going to know to come to you. So try to realize that this business has ups and downs and ebbs and flows, just like any other business, but you are the one that has to stay consistent and committed to it. And if you do, all those people you're talking to now who might be saying no to you now, or not right now, or whatever they're saying to you, they will come back around, and they're going to come to you if you're still in the game. So when it comes to coaching, there's a few things that I do and have done that have been beneficial, and you can think about how you want to take your spin on these. But in the beginning, when my coach would run business opportunity calls, I would, you know, team up with her and invite to her group. And it was great. And it was, you know, it was easier. I could say, hey, our team's hosting this call tonight. Why don't you come join us? And when you run those groups, it is good. It's, you know, when you get more people in there, more interaction, the better. But I got to a point where I was like, what if they like her better than me? What if they see the success that she's had, because she's been in this longer than me and she's done great? And what if they want to go to her because they think, even though they might know me, they're going to go to her because she's already proven it. She already knows what she's doing. So I got to the point where I was like, I don't want to send anyone to her. So I actually would still help out. And it's not anything personal with Deidre. I just wanted them to know me. You know, I wanted them to connect with me and what I had to say. So I used to still share videos in her sneak peek groups. Like, I would still do videos for her, like if she wanted to include teammates, to give people an idea of what the team was like. But my people went into my own group. And for a while, I would mirror hers, and maybe I only did 1 or 2 videos in the group. And, you know, maybe my group was smaller, but I wanted them to hear from me. And I have a template for a business opportunity call. It's the same. I follow the same thing and have for a long time. But it's just a little slideshow, an intro about me and who I am. And in the beginning, when I wasn't able to say, like, I was a 2-time elite coach, or I was a ranked whatever coach, I would say I'm part of the #1 team in the network, because that's pretty cool to be able to say. Like, we have all access to all the training and resources. Leverage that. So I would use things that I could, you know, I would share different things that I have accomplished, but I did not want to direct them to her. I wanted them to know who I was, what I've done, what my story was. And then I would just go through the rest of, like, the business opportunity call was sharing, you know, what we have to offer to other people. So, you know, in the beginning, like, I remember doing a Google Hangout. And so, like, I don't know if you've ever done a Google Hangout. So different than Zoom, you can actually, like, schedule. And it's the same thing with Zoom in the sense that you can share slides, but anyone who listens they're not on camera like you. So I'd say it's a little bit more of a presentation mode other than like a group conference call. But my first Google Hangout, the only person who got on was my mom. And like, it, you know, like I literally, and I knew I was talking to no one, but I did it anyways. It was awful. And I like misspoke and things like, but I did it and I recorded it. And when somebody would come to me randomly and say, hey, what's this coaching thing? Boom, here's a video. First of all, if they can't take 20 minutes and watch a video, they're probably not that serious into coaching. But this gave, like, I didn't have to think about how could I give them a quick response without word vomit. How do I tell them what I do? That video goes through who I am, what we do, running challenge groups, what our team's like, what the opportunities are. I don't even talk about income on there. Like I don't. Just go through what the team aspect is. But having that resource has been huge. And I run that same call on a monthly basis. And I do it different ways. Sometimes it's just the closeout of a sneak peek group. Sometimes that's all I do. Like I just invite to that call because it's easy enough to do a call. Sometimes I've done it where I've teamed up with other people. Some groups I've actually done it where I've just recorded myself doing an updated monthly call. But like my sneak peek group that I invite people to is something that I involve other people of the team for. So I've done different stuff. You have to find whatever's going to work for you. But I encourage you guys to make a video. Even if you don't advertise for it, like if you don't want people to come on and listen to you live, set up a Zoom for yourself. Free Zoom accounts, I think you get 45 minutes. Make the slides. I'll share my slides with you. I need to figure, they're huge, like the size of them. So I don't know how to get them into like a shareable, I guess maybe I can make a Dropbox link. I'll figure it out. Anyways, you can just edit the slides, put your own stuff in there, and record yourself making a video. And it might suck really bad, and then you can do it again. And if you're not inviting anybody to it, nobody knows. And you can make it a third time and a fourth time, but being able to have that as a quick resource. And then, like, you can always invite to it. And if nobody comes, like, let's say, like, I remember one time I did it and, like, nobody was there. So I still, like, I recorded the video on my own time then. But then I was able to send follow-up messages to people like, hey, you know, not sure if you saw my last message about my business opportunity call. Sorry you couldn't make it. I did record it. Here's the link if you want to listen to it. And that YouTube link is shared. I'm able to share it and send it to people. It's on my blog. So I've been able to keep it as a resource there. It's then pinned to Pinterest. So it's a resource. It's practice for you talking about coaching. And it's something that comes from you and not a constant, hey, you're going to invite people into your team. So that's one thing that I started doing pretty early on. Something else I started doing within, it's probably been, oh goodness, probably close to a year, maybe last fall, is when I did a business opportunity, like when I started my sneak peek group, I created the group on Facebook. And initially it was actually a public group. And then I stopped and made it private. But I continue, like every month, I run it the same way I do my free group. I change the banner. I delete out the content, but I leave the people in it. And I've had people who have been in sneak peeks 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 months before they say, I'm interested. And it's just like when you think of a challenger who you have to talk to and invite repeatedly before they finally do it, or they have to see your post repeatedly. It's like, you know, they need like 10 signs that this is the time for them before they commit with you. To me, I think coaching is the same way. So I don't like tag it. I mean, I've got like over 100 people in the group, and some people, a lot of them are coaches just on the team, and some people have added their other people. They're not all mine. And I always say at the end of my like business opportunity call, me or the coach who invited you here. So like that's out there, but it's being able to have it. And then I started uploading after each event, which I don't know if I did. I'm going to write it down. I don't think I did the last Super Saturday picture, but after each event, I'll upload an album of pictures. So I'll just do, you know, like Tony Horton was in Pittsburgh for a Super Saturday. We had so much fun, like great way to get together, whatever, and upload pictures. So if somebody new is added to that group and they just scroll down, the only thing they're going to see is pictures. I actually had someone who joined my team who she was like, to be honest, I just wanted like the sisterhood I see in your pictures. Like I want to be part of that. Like it wasn't so much like the coaching aspect of it. Like she was interested. She was a challenger. She's like, but I really just want that. Like that looks fun to me. So you never know what's going to draw somebody in, but being able to share different avenues is going to be able to attract different people. So I create the group, and you can start this month, create the group, and then I've just uploaded pictures from different events. And on that same concept is events. So I know not everyone lives close to like a huge Super Saturday event, but I can almost guarantee you that there is an event somewhat close to you, like within a couple hour driving distance. There are hundreds of Super Saturday locations around the United States and Canada. I know my mom went to one back in January. She couldn't make it here to Pittsburgh, or maybe I think it was the January one or the one before that. It was the one in the fall. She literally went to some stranger's house that had like 4 of them in a basement. But she went because she couldn't make it here and she wanted to go. So you can find them. If you don't see one close enough to you, you can host your own. You just register your name and email address with Beachbody. You can search in the FAQs whenever it's time to register, and you just get the video and you can host your own. Maybe it's you and one friend. Like, let's get together and watch this and work out together. The one in Pittsburgh that now has hundreds of people that get together for everyone, they started with like 10 people in a little, community, like whatever, community center room thing. Like, it wasn't big when they started, but they continued to do it. And I think that I actually had a prospect that came to my last Super Saturday that everyone assumed she was a coach on my team. I'm like, she's not a coach. I want her to be a coach. I bought her a ticket and I asked her if she would come to Super Saturday, and she came. I asked her if she wanted to volunteer for the Tony photo ops because we wouldn't want to volunteer to do that. She helped with the photo ops, and that was a way for me. Like, I've sent this girl a webinar like every month and she never responds. She wanted to come to a live event. That brought it to life. Like, you can sit here on a Zoom call and tell people how wonderful coaching is and what it's done for you and whether it's physically, mentally, financially, whatever it's done for you. Sometimes they need to see it all together. There's not always an opportunity for that, but Super Saturdays and Coach Summit are where you can actually bring it to life. So you need to go to those events so that you can talk about them when you buy your ticket, when you're traveling there, when you're there, after you've left. I mean, Michelle ended up with a flat tire on the way to Pittsburgh Super Saturday. She arrived at the end of the event, but darn it, she came because she knew getting there mattered. But she talked about it throughout it. And like, those are the things, like, people won't know what you do as a coach. Like, you think, oh, Beachbody's saturated or there's too many coaches. Most people still are freaking clueless. Like, they don't know. And they might know you're a coach and they might know like 6 other coaches. They don't have a clue in the world what you do. When you can show them live videos, like I did it, like, I hate doing live videos. I do them because I know that I have to. I hate them. But I did a live video during the workout with Tony because that brought it to life. That brought people into what we're doing at Super Saturday. Those are the things that you have to do to be able to show people. And like, is that stuff going to get the most traction? Maybe not. Like, saying how much you're so excited to be at this event with these people. Like, people might not care, but they're watching it. And the people who want to be a part of your team are going to see that. And whether it's, the Super Saturday or a big trip to New Orleans with thousands of people, or you saying, I just got off a team call and I'm so excited to learn how to grow my team and help my team better. Like, people have to know that there's more to what you're doing. A lot of people are really good about inviting to challenge groups. And maybe if you've had a weight loss transformation, it's easier for you to invite other people and show what you've done and invite them to a challenge group. But it's the same thing, like your challenge group is your party. And if you don't invite anybody to your challenge group, they're probably not coming. Your business opportunity calls and sneak peek events, that's your party. And if you don't invite people to come check out what your party is about, nobody's going to join your team. And whether you sell 5, 10, or 15 challenge packs a month, you're probably not going to get very far financially unless you're building a team. And, people, it's one of those, when I got my first Emerald coach under me, it was a girl who had a really good transformation. That's why the challenge groups are so important. But I said to her, like, you should do this. And she was someone who, mind you, she did not post in the challenge group. She did it pretty much on her own. And she wasn't active in the group, but she sent me her 21-day results. I'm like, these are amazing. Let me share them. She made me cut her head off. So you couldn't even see who she was. Like, I had to hide her face. And then like, people started seeing her and asking her what she was doing. And then eventually she was like, well, I might as well just do it. And it was her 2 sisters that she signed up as discount coaches. So it wasn't like, and then I signed up, and then my husband went Emerald, and then I went Diamond. But it was just being able to tell her, like, I'll help you coach them, but like, you can get started. She was my first Diamond. She was my first Star Diamond coach. Like, but it was someone who, just like me, I didn't want to coach. Like, when Deidre wanted me to put me in a challenge group, I said, no, thank you. I could do it on my own, but she did it anyways. And whenever I signed up as a discount coach, you know what she did? She invited me to her coach. I had a question about something because I forget how it started, but I wanted to like get my sister a challenge pack, and I signed her up, and she's like, you're halfway to Emerald, because my sister was military. And I'm like, I don't even know what Emerald means. She's like, well, if you sign up one more person, you're Emerald. And I was like, I like recognition. Like, it wasn't even like I had been out of work a year, and as a stay-at-home mom who had done not a whole lot of anything other than play with her kids for 12 straight months, being able to be part of something else was pretty darn cool. So when she told me I could go Emerald by signing someone else, I signed up my husband. I was like, okay, done. Now what? She's like, do you want to do a push to diamond group? I'm like, I don't know what diamond is, but sure. And I joined a push to diamond group, but I didn't make diamond. So I did it the next month. And then like I just kept going through that. So you have to realize that people who you're talking to and say they just want the discount, they might change their mind. But if you don't ask them if they want to learn more, or like ask them, someone had said today they got their first referral. Ask people for referrals. Like I went through and did that today. People who are joining my group that starts Monday, I'm like, hey, I've got 4 spots left in my group. Just wanted to see if you had any friends or family members who might want to jumpstart or improve their overall health and fitness and start with you on Monday. And the one girl was like, oh, I've actually been talking to a few people about it. I'll let them know it starts Monday. And it may not turn into anything. It could turn into a referral for me. That'd be great. It could turn into someone for her saying, you know, like, and I would tell her, like, I'll take them and I'll take a referral. Thank you very much. Or you can sign them up. You pick. Some people, like I've had like one girl's giving me like 3 referrals. She's like, I just want nothing to do with this. You're great. I love the products. I have no desire to coach you. Take them. Okay, I'll take them. Thank you. Other people are like, oh, I could make like 50, 60 bucks on this. Like, tell me more. You don't know what they're going to say, but if you don't ask them, they might not know that you can get referrals from you. This dinging thing's annoying. I'm sorry. So keep that in mind. Go through people who might have dropped out of your challenge groups and re-invite them to Monday's group and say, you know, I know you didn't finish the last one, or, you know, you've been out of touch for a while, but maybe do you have any friends or family who might want to join? Because I have a few extra spots. Maybe if you bring someone else along, that maybe it'll help you stay on track better. Send them a voice message. Make a list of 10 people who you're going to send that quick voice message to and extend the invitation to them. Because even if 9 of them tell you no or ignore you, but that one person says, you know what, I do. My sister's been wondering what this was, or my cousin or whatever, and they sign them up, they might be like, oh, I'll take them. I can earn money from this. I was a coach, my babysitter that I had a while ago, she used to watch Colt for me one day a week, and I would go work for like 2 hours. She said to me once, you make money doing this? I was like, yeah, it's really not all out of the goodness of my heart. I do some things out of the goodness of my heart, but no, this is an actual business, and yes, I make money. Hi, Richard. So just keep that in mind. If you don't ask them for referrals, they're not going to give them to you. They may not know that you can do it. And that sister, someone who has a sister, they might have a friend who is also a coach. So instead of joining with you, because they don't know that they can really go through you, they don't know you, they're going to go through someone else that they don't know. So I think like, you know, some people are like, I have to find this like person who wants to do what I want to do, or whatever it is. Coaches come on, just like your challengers come in all shapes, sizes, ages, and forms. So are your coaches. They're going to come from, I mean, like Michelle was a challenger of mine. So was Alice. Like, most of my coaches come from my challenge groups, but I never reached out to her. I put out a post that I was just like a general, you know, I'm accepting 5 people for my group, and she filled out the application. You know, and it was, you know, we weren't really friends on Facebook. All she had was the tracker app. The only interaction was through there. So she wasn't really seeing much of the things I shared on Facebook, but she saw that application on Instagram, and then she applied. So people are going to watch, and different things are going to click. You have to talk about it consistently. Like my group's going to start on Monday, and then with Punta Cana coming that following Sunday, I'm basically going to spend like the week talking about, like I started talking about like Punta Cana a little bit. I ordered swimsuits. When the swimsuits come, I'll talk about Punta Cana. And then when I get there, like that's kind of like the sneak peek in and of itself. Being there on this trip with Beachbody, like that will be able to talk about it. And then I'll do a sneak peek when I come home. So, you know, being able to draw that activity. And when I'm gone, I'll have an ad running on my Facebook page. At least that's the plan. That will be running on my talking about coaching. So if someone sees that ad and goes to my page, they're going to see, oh, she's at Punta Cana. I want to go to Punta Cana. And I was actually, when I had lost my chapstick, I was in a challenge, my first challenge group whenever Deidre went on the cruise. And I still remember being like, this chick's going on a cruise that Beachbody paid for. Like, I'm in a challenge group. I know what she does. And damn it, I can do that. Like, I can do what she's doing, and I want to go on a cruise. So that, like, I was motivated by the stuff I watched her do. Not everyone will be. But I look at that. I was very motivated by what she shared so openly and publicly. So think about whatever it was that drew you to your coach and what made you go from, whether it was a challenger or someone who was looking, whatever you were looking for, when there was a moment that you said, I'm going to try this coaching thing, what made you do it? And whatever that was, talk about that. Because if that made you do it, it's going to make people like you want to do it too. And those are the people who you'll be able to relate to the most. Does that help? Give you some ideas? Wheels turning? I think the biggest thing is you have to talk about it. And I've had time, I mean, like, I'm not a high recruiter by any means. Like, I typically, like, I had 3 new working, or maybe it was 4 in January. I had 4 new working coaches. That was like, whoa, overwhelming for me. Like, to have 4 brand new people, because I want to answer all their questions. I want to make sure that they're understanding everything. Like, that's a lot. You don't have to recruit like 5, 10, 15, 20 people. Like, I was a coach for 3 months when I got my first, who was like turning into an emerald kind of just by signing up family. And she was my only working coach for another 3 months. So 6 months in, I still didn't have any working coaches. And then when I left Summit was huge for that. And I think with those events, that's what helps people be like, okay, like, this goes beyond her posting sweaty selfies. Like, this is a little bit more than just some workouts and pictures. Like, this is doing something. So the more you can talk about it, the more people are going to see the reality of it. But when Reagan, some of you guys are Reagan's coaches, she had signed up in July. It would have been like a month after Summit. And I remember getting a text from one of my challengers when I got home from Summit. She was one of my diamonds. She's not working in the business anymore, but she's like, jealous of, and we used to be in accounting together. She's like, I'm jealous of what you're doing. I'm like, don't be jealous of me. Join me. When you're jealous that I just went to Vegas, like, don't be jealous. Come join me. And I literally said, like, if you look through my messages to her, I literally said, don't be jealous. Join me. So those were things that attracted other people into what I was doing. But it took me sharing it. Events are huge. If you're not going to Summit, get to Summit. Try to find a way to make it happen. I mean, I initially was going to be number 6 in a hotel room. I committed to sleeping on the floor. It was $40 for the week or whatever, like the 3 nights. And I was like, okay. I ended up lucking out because somebody else had coaches cancel. So I stayed in her off the resort. We weren't at the same hotel. We had a cabin every day. I packed oatmeal with PB2 in it. And I made oatmeal with hot water every morning in the hotel. Shook my shakes. I took Quest bars and like almonds. Like, that's what I ate for the days, because I didn't have the money to go out to eat. My mother-in-law graciously used her airline miles to buy me a plane ticket because I didn't have money for a plane ticket. I earned my ticket to Summit, and my hotel room was dirt cheap. And I ate next to nothing. I ate less there than I would have if I was home. But I made it happen. And I think that was different. There's a whole bunch of us that all signed up as coaches under DJ around the same time. And I was only a coach for 3 months. So I still didn't even really know what I was doing. But I was the only one of her new coaches who went. And I think that had a huge role and factor into my success going forward, because it proved to people that I was committed to the business and in this for the long haul. And to my family too, that this wasn't just some thing that I was doing, that it was really going to be something more than that. All right, that's what I got for you. Does anyone have any questions?
I have a question. Am I unmuted?
Yes, ma'am.
So I know you have your templates for the sneak peek in the back office. Initially, can you get that information just to learn how to set it up, like the coaching basics? Can we get that from the news training in the back office?
Yeah, there's a business opportunity slideshow in the back office that will give you like the beach body slides and template.
So do you recommend just setting up?
You can start, I mean, a lot of the slides that I use are just from that template too. So you can go to that and you can see the video, just kind of reference the video that I have to see what I've used. But a lot of the videos I use, or a lot of the images in the slideshow that I use, are just the stock images from Beachbody.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, like, and it's same thing with like, I mean, everything. I mean, in the training now is a lot better than it was 3 years ago. Like, they have the challenge group templates, they have coach basic templates, they have push to diamond, push to emerald templates. Like, it's all there. You don't have to sit there and spend time creating it. You just have to implement it. to implement it for yourself. And then as you get new people, you have to implement it for them as well.
So are the Facebook page that you have for us to set up the backstage one, the backstage pass for the business, that's always there. You just changed the events.
I changed the cover photo, and I'll delete out anything that was like relevant to March's event, and I'll make it into April's. I'll update the description of it. But yeah, no, that's all. I just keep that group ongoing because I know people, and like I have like a discount coach who likes and watches half the videos. Eventually, she's going to decide that she no longer wants to be a discount coach, and she's going to do something more with it. And like I had someone who once was like, what do you do as a coach? I'm not saying I want to do it, but I'm just curious. Like, what do you do? Well, here, let me add you to this group. You can check it out at your leisure. And she sees it, and she's like, it's interesting. I don't know. It's interesting. So, like, by having that group that I don't close down, it allows certain people to just see every month. It'll just pop up like there. And I don't post a lot in there. Like, I'll post when it's coming up to it. Like, I don't want to like flood people with on like notifications nonstop, and I don't want them to get annoyed by it. But I'll post a few times around the time of when I'm doing the call or the event, and it seems to pay off.
Okay. One other question for you. So I do live videos. I don't like live videos either, but I do them because you said to do them. So
you should do them.
So I do them all the time. I did one today. I did one when I got the flat tire. So, but I wanted to know, I don't have a blog. So I know you were talking about embedding a video into your blog. Is there any way that I can save that video to like maybe send to my Google page? Because I have a Google account.
Yeah, whenever you do end a live video, there's like a little download button. Just download it. And then you would upload it to YouTube.
Okay.
So download it, upload it to YouTube. I just do it all from my phone. Like I click the little download, and then I'll just, if you go to like send a picture, send a video to someone, one of the options is YouTube. So I just upload it straight to YouTube. Like I actually went through all of my videos on my phone of my kids, and I uploaded them all to YouTube because it was super easy to do from my phone, and just made them all unlisted. Nobody can find them, but it's a way to just back everything up. So you can know if your live videos. Anytime I do a live video, I typically do save it down and put it to YouTube. Even the most random thing, you can do a live video of how to make your Shakeology, and then put that thing on YouTube. People Google that. Think of things people search for, and then you can take that YouTube. You could do a live video on your personal page. Just how I make my shake every day, and then you can upload it to YouTube. You can pin it onto your Pinterest if you have one. You can send it to your Google page. You can use it in your challenge group. Say, here's how I make my shake. Like that's something I didn't do it in my challenge group that started in March. During the preseason week, I started making a live video of how I make my shake, because most new people, if they do not love their Shakeology by like day 3, they probably aren't making it right. So making a quick YouTube or making a quick live video showing them how you make it, it's doing multiple things at once.
How long is that video out there? Because I've posted a couple live videos into the challenge group that I'm running right now.
You can only download it once at the time you make it.
Okay.
So as soon as you finish the live video, before you hit post, you have to download it to your camera roll.
Okay.
I'd be willing to bet that you could go on YouTube and search how to save a live video if that doesn't make sense. But literally, when you end your live video, there's just a little arrow like on the right, and it will download it to your camera roll.
All right. Good to know.
Anyone else? Okie dokie. You have another question?
Yeah, I was just going to ask you about, so if I have on my YouTube videos unlisted, I know they were saying, I forgot who said it, I was listening probably on Beachbody Champions, where it had that you should have a YouTube channel. No, Melanie Metro was talking about having a YouTube channel. If all the videos that I've made so far are unlisted, how do I transfer those into a YouTube like channel, and is there a
We
tutorial?
already have a YouTube channel if you have YouTube. So you would just go into your video manager on YouTube. I mean, my time thing is running out. I can show you. It's pretty easy to edit a video. I mean, I have a bajillion videos on my YouTube, but not many of them are public. So like, here's my YouTube. If I go click up here, can you see my screen?
Yes.
And I go to my channel. Like here, Tony Horton's workout has 176 views. I never posted that to my page. I put it into the teen page, and I pinned it on Pinterest, and I put it into a blog post.
Okay.
So, but these are public ones. So like if I want to go in, like if you click this video manager up here, and this gives you every video. So like here, like this video has, it has copyrighted music. This was just a video of Aubrey dancing. So I just started putting literally like a whole bunch of my kids' videos on here, and I just put them with their names on them to get them off my phone. Okay. So if you just click edit, this is where you can customize what the thumbnail looks like. This is where you get your link unlisted and just make it public.
Okay.
But I've done that with, I put tons of stuff on my YouTube channel. There was something I saw in here. It was something else I do. There was something on here. It was like responses to Stacey White. So this girl emailed me, and she had a whole bunch of questions, and I actually just made her a video and sent it back to her. I've done that with coaching. Like if someone's asking you for more than just what is coaching, where you can send them your business opportunity call, I'll literally just hop on, like set my phone up and make them a video. Be like, hi, you had a whole bunch of questions. I figured this is an easier way to answer your questions. And I'll literally like pull up their Woohoo application. I'll be like, you asked me this, here's the answer. You asked me this. And I just run through it. But most people appreciate that you took the time to make them a little video. And it's easier. To me, it's just easier to explain it and then just upload it to YouTube and send them an unlisted link. Nobody else can see that. But it just makes it faster, I think.
Okay.
Than trying to sit there and perfectly think about how you want to read it and make sure that they're understanding exactly what you're trying to say. And I do videos a lot for that purpose. Anything else?
I think that's it for me.
Okie dokie. Well, thanks for getting on, ladies. And we will, and I actually, what's this week? So I leave for Punta Cana the 23rd, next Sunday, the Sunday after Easter. It's like a week and a half. So I know Melanie's doing a sneak peek before and after Punta Cana. Like one before to start building interest, and then a second one after, just to keep, kind of keep that momentum. So I don't know if people have interest of like inviting to two and doing it more than once, but that's something that I am considering now, is just, like I said, if she does something, I typically do it. So she just said, like, because of the timing, like I usually run mine essentially the week I'm in Punta Cana would be the week that I would do a sneak peek. But because I'm there, I'm not going to. So do I do it a little bit earlier and then a second one after, or just a second one after? I don't know. So I'll keep you guys posted. But those are the opportunities to just invite. And you can always just join in what mine is and just parallel it to your own. Create your own event. Like when people it's easier to take my event that I create for us coaching and invite people to it. But like if you see what I do, just go duplicate it. Make your own picture with your own face. See what I write for a description, write your own description. Whatever I post something similar, but then people see you. Because seeing me talk about coaching when they don't know me isn't going to go as far as if they know you and see you talk about it. All right. We're about out of minutes. So I will post the recording. If you guys have questions, let me know.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye. Thanks for getting on.
Bye.